Good morning, friends. We are doing phonics lesson 15. So I'm going to share my screen with you and we will get started. Okie dokie. Let me get rid of all of this floating controls and get us in present mode. All right, lesson 15. Our learning targets today. I can complete my spelling assessment. Yep, we have a spelling test today. I can read and write the plural form of nouns, and I can ask and answer questions about key details, story, the visit. So today is our spelling test. When we take this test, I am going to read a word aloud and then use it in a sentence. I will give you time to write each word. At the end, I will go back through the list and read each spelling word one more time. So let's review our list. We have the M sound in maps and mice. We have M as in hammer and trimmed. We have our consonant clusters, SK and SC and SP. We have skipped, scrub, and space. We also have our tricky word of could. All right, so our spelling assessment, I am going to stop sharing and I am going to get the spelling page out there. All right, so you should have your spelling test page and let's get started on that. Our first word is hammer. Hammer. I can't find my hammer. Hammer. Number 2, maps. Maps. My maps are a mess. Maps. Number 3, mice. Mice. I saw a lot of mice in the field. Mice. Number 4, trimmed. Trimmed. I trimmed my tree last night. Trimmed. Number 5, skipped. Skipped. I skipped in gym today. Skipped. Number 6, scrub. Scrub. I had to scrub my pots and pans last night. Scrub. Number 7. Oh, my nose is itching. Number 7, space. Space. I would love to go out in space. And number 8, could. Could. Could you help me with my work? Could. All right, so that's all 8 words. I'm going to go back over and read these words one more time, okay? Number 1 is hammer. Number 2 is maps. Number 3 is mice. Number 4 is trimmed. Number 5 is skipped. Number 6, scrub. Number 7, space. And number 8, could. All right, so let's stop this and let's go back. Oops. Go back to my, get rid of this so I can find my Google Ads. There you go. All right. All right, done that. What is the part of speech that names people, places, or things? Do you remember? Well, a person, place, or is a noun. A noun. Many times things can be counted. Help me count the following items. We have 1 dog, 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4 dogs. What changed there? Well, we added another dog if every time we set a number, but excuse me, did you notice we went from dog to dogs? What did we do? We added an S, which made it plural, meaning we have more than one dog. Let's do this one. 1 cat, 2 cats, 3 cats, 4 cats. The same thing, right? When we get more than one, we have to add an S to that noun to make it plural. Let's look at the chicks. We have 1 chick, 2 chicks, 3 chicks, 4 chicks. We added that S, didn't we, to that noun to make it plural because we have more than one. So we counted to 2, 3, and 4, the words changed. As I said, cat went to cats, dog went to dogs, and chick went to chicks. The letter S was added to the end of a noun, which means it became plural and it was more than one. So that's why we call it a plural noun. So plural words can end in either S or ES. So plural means it's more than one. So let's write the plural form of different nouns. So you've got this plural noun review, okay? You've got cats, kids, dogs, dishes, foxes, porches, sharks, hands, forks, and crabs. So I am going to escape and we are going to look at that page. We're going to go right here. All right. So on this page, I'm going to read the directions to you so that we'll know what we're doing. It says, have students underline the plural marker in each word. Up at the top, you need to underline what makes it plural, S or ES. Okay, that's the first thing. Then have students write the plural words that end in S under the S header. So if it has an S sound at the end, you're going to write it under the S. The plural words that end in Z under the Z headers. So if the words sound like they have a Z, then write them under the Z, okay, like dogs. Then the plural words that end in is, so ES under the EZ sound, like foxes. So you've got to underline the ES or S, and then you've got to place the words under the correct sound. They've done 3 of them for you. They've got cats, because you hear the S sound. You've got the Z, as in dogs, and then you've got foxes, that sounds like EZ. So they've done 3 of those words, and so you have the other 7 words to do on your own, okay? All right, so let's get back to our slide, and let's move on from here. All right, so we've done that. So today we are going to read a new story. It's called The Visit. Today's story is called The Visit. So let's talk about a visit using our 5 senses. When I visited my grandma, I heard her say to me, we tasted yummy food, and I felt a hug when I saw her. Her house smelled like chocolate chip cookies. Notice how she used those senses in that little story. All right, so let's preview our spellings that we're going to see in this story. We're going to have the N spelled with KN, knapsack. We're going to have S for the C spelling. It's like nice, place, and exercise. And we've got other 2 syllables like frisbee, sunscreen, flip-flops. We also have a 3-syllable word today, exercise. exercise. So let's preview our vocabulary. Flip-flops. I love flip-flops. They're open-toed shoes with 2 straps across the foot that are normally worn in warm weather. Then we have the word cove, a small area partly surrounded by land. Then we have wade, means to walk through the water. Yelping is to make a quick, high-sounding cry. So let's read to find out who Grace visits and what she does once she gets there. So let's find Grace in this story. So let me get to my story here. The visit. The Spencers are on a trip to visit their grand. It's a long car ride from the farm. Their dad drives in, then their mom drives after lunch. Grace and Jill feel like the trip will never end. At last they get to Gran's place. Grace and Jill up to their Gran and hug her. It's so nice to see you, says Gran. Gran, Jill says, can we run down and swim? After the long car ride, the children need some exercise. Gran smiles. She grabs her knapsack and points to the flip-flops on her feet and says, I'm all set. There's Gran. Okay, Grace and Jill get dressed for swimming. They rub sunscreen on their arms and legs. Mr. Spencer helps them rub the screen on their backs. Once the sunscreen is on, Grace and Jill run down the path to the cove. When they get there, they wade, yelping as the cool waves crash past them. Grace and Jill splash and ride the waves. They dig for crabs and pick up shells. They toss a frisbee back and forth. They munch on snacks and sit in the sun. It's fun to visit with Gran. Okay, so to our slide. All right, who do the Spencers visit? They go visit Gran, don't they? What do the children want to do with Gran? They want to go swimming. Why might the children put on sunscreen? Do you think to protect them from getting sunburnt? Because if you don't put sunscreen on, you will burn, and that will be very uncomfortable. So let's look at our worksheet that goes along with this. All righty. Number 1, how do Grace and Jill feel in the car to visit their Gran? You know, if you're in the car a long time, you always probably say, are we there yet? Are we there yet? But they didn't say that though. You need to write down how they felt in the car ride. Number 2, what do Grace and Jill do to get set to swim? What do they do? Do you remember that? And number 3, name 3 things Grace and Jill do with Gran. What are the things they do? All right. Let's go back here. Our present mode again. All right, our learning targets. I can complete my spelling assessment. I can read and write the plural forms of nouns, and I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, The Visit. So friends, guess what? That's the end of the lesson. I guess I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.